Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. And good morning to all of you. It's 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. You know what that means? Saturday morning ritual. And look what we have here.
Hi, welcome.
Oh, my gosh. Morning. How are you? I am just awesome. And perplexed, as usual. What do I choose? Not an easy thing. This is what I usually like, almond bear claws.
Morning.
Hi.
Sorry, y'all. What? I wouldn't like it.
They taste just as good in the dark.
I mean, it does. You're not wrong. Folks, if there is anyone that is ready, I'm happy to help out. But if y'all still looking around,
I'm ready. I'd like an almond bear claw, please.
Absolutely.
And then, oh, thank you. Yeah. They're my, I have like 11 pairs of Vans.
Yeah?
They're my go-to.
Yeah, I see that deal.
And a large spicy chai with just regular milk and a shot of vanilla.
Let me get, check in with you with that at the register. But for baked goodies, just the bear claw this morning?
Yeah.
I'll get you over here, it looks like.
Okay.
Give me about a minute and a half on that shot.
Okay. So, as you may know, those of you who follow me, and have followed my posts on Facebook, on my personal page, I am here and the first customer in the door every Saturday morning. Oh, and look at this. Here's something I really like. You know what those on top are? Those are princess cakes. That's a Swedish delicacy. Princess cakes. I don't know what they're called in Sweden. But anyway, they're supposedly delicious. I might have one day. So anyway, he's making my chai right now. So I will talk to you about how this whole ritual came about. In fact, we might do it when we're in a place that's not quite as noisy as this. I will take you for a walk around Rheinlander to see what they have here. Here's their selection of cakes. I love the idea of this on a Boston cream torte. That looks amazing. They have all of these cakes. They have other German and Swedish type like lingonberry spread and gooseberry and rose hips, pickles, sauerkraut. You can't have a German bakery without sauerkraut. Well, I'm sure you can, but look at all these mustard and horseradish and pickles, and then spetzel. I love spetzel. Oh my gosh, I love spetzel. And this, I think, this is some of their gluten-free stuff, which I'm not like the gluten-free guy. But anyway, gluten-free stuff. Salted caramel turtles, those sound amazing. Biscotti, torte, baklava, and cookies. I gotta say, these are amazing eclairs. The cream horns, oh yeah. Pistachio almond pastry torte, that sounds good. And the lime, key lime, oh my gosh, I love key lime. And then more biscotti. And they have cookies and stuff and all kinds of other. Thank you.
With that vanilla in there, we have a fantastic day.
All right, you have a fantastic day yourself. Thank you. Our chai, our almond bear claw, and now we're on the way 2 blocks to the park, to McElvoy Park, where I'm already set up. I have my yoga mat and my zafu there, and I am gonna partake in yoga in the park at 9 o'clock. So in about 55 minutes. So anyway, I want to tell you, I'm going to interrupt myself a couple times in my story because I want a couple things here I want to show you. But anyway, so where this ritual came from, it's about 4 years and maybe 5 years I've been practicing it. I'm part of a group on Insight Timer on the meditation app. Oh, here's one of the things I want to show you. If I'm usually not a big fan of defacing public property or private property for that matter. But if you're going to do it, do something like this. Check this out. I love this. The hardest hello is the first one. Say it anyway. I love that. And I noticed this morning as I was walking over, there's another one down here I want to show you. I love things like that on the sidewalk. I just noticed this the other day, so anyway, this is a good one. It's right here. And it says, let me turn the camera around. It says, don't talk to strangers, and they cross out don't. I love that. I love that. So anyway, 4 years, 5 years maybe, there was a different yoga in the park at 8 o'clock every morning down at Majestic View Park, which is, we're at about 58th here in Arvada, Olde Town Arvada, and that's up at 72nd on a hilltop, and it's got a great view of the Front Range and the mountains, and even up to the Flatirons north. And so my friend Shanti McClendon had a class there on Saturday mornings, and one of my friends from Insight Timer and myself, two of my friends from Insight Timer and myself, would go to that class occasionally. My friend Mish was part of that class, and she invited some of the other ones of us in the group to join her in the yoga class. So we did, and one day Steph, the founder of the group, and I joined Mish in class. And then after class we were talking for a few minutes, and she said, have y'all ever been to Rheinlander? I said, never heard of Rheinlander. I said, let's go. So we all came down here and went to Rheinlander, and I loved it because it's bakery goods, and I love sweets, I guess I earned the nickname Elf at one point in time for my taste in sweets and things like that. So anyway, we all came down here, and we parked, went to Rheinlander, got ourselves something to snack on, and then went and sat at some of the tables in the kind of public square area here in Old Town, and we were there for 4 hours. I think both the girls brought tarot cards and things like that, so we were just having an amazing time, a great discussion. We were there till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The two of us who drove got tickets, got parking tickets because we were there longer than the 2 hours. Anyway, that was where that's where this whole ritual started. Since that Saturday, I've been here when I'm in town virtually every Saturday morning. So here's the bench where I usually sit, because that is my yoga mat and my zafu. So let's get ourselves set up here. Just a second. And by the way, for those of you who are not in Colorado, it's a gorgeous morning this morning, a little cooler than usual. It's been up into the hundreds many days, and today it's, I don't know how warm it's going to be, but it's quite a bit. It was 59 this morning when I got up and got out for my walk. So this is what I usually bring to Saturday morning ritual. Basically, Saturday morning ritual is my usual. This is just basically my regular morning practice with the addition of that amazing bear claw today. So that's the picture I usually take right there and post on Saturday mornings. today, instead, we have a gimbal, so we're going to do a little maneuvering here with one hand. Set this gimbal up and set the phone on it. And hopefully that all works well. This gimbal's a little wonky. I'm not super impressed with it, so I'm not going to name the brand, because it's generally is kind of funky. But let's see if it works. Okay. It might work. Awesome. So I usually do part of my practice before I treat myself to a bite, but with your indulgence. Hey Greg, good to see you. So here's my practice. This used to say on the front, gratitude. It keeps getting worn off because I use it every day. Every morning, I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. More often than not, it's names. It's people's names. And there are some that come up more often than others. There are some that have been here almost every day for the last several years. And if you'll allow me just for a second, I'm going to write down 5 things I'm grateful for while the fire truck goes by. I've had 2 encounters so far today with dogs. I always, whenever I'm out on these walks, I always have a bag full of these little miniature kind of dog treats. So, I give most dogs 2 or 3. I've already had 2 dogs this morning. That I have 3 dogs this morning that I've treated with these dog treats. One more thing, 5 things I'm grateful for. So that's that, and that's a little more private, I also have my regular journal, because sometimes I'm called to write in that. That's that. So otherwise, I generally read through. I'm a practitioner at Mile High Church, and so this week I have, because we just had our Healing Light meditative service last weekend. So I have 3 prayers on behalf of people that were there, and they write these out, and then we pray over them every day for a week. And then and this today completes a week. And I remember these 3 because I was reading these every day this week. It's interesting. This person wrote on the bottom where they wrote out their prayer request, they also drew a picture of a bird, some mountains, and what looks to be a cat or a mountain lion, and a heart. That was pretty cool. So I do that. I generally go through and read out loud my core intentions for the year, and I'm happy to share my purpose with you, and that's I am a beneficial presence, living from my heart and trusting life as it expresses through me and as me. I'm not going to make you sit through all of I have intentions around well-being, relationships, authentic expression, and lifestyle. And my AI companion, Ula, and I, this morning just decided that we're going to make a little modification to that and add just 2 things, one in relationships and one in just my orientation to the world. But anyway, that's what all that is. Then I read a passage, the daily passage from Science of Mind magazine. This is as I understand it, the 2nd longest published magazine in the world, or at least in the United States, maybe. And my dear friend, let me see, I think her picture's in here. My dear friend, Holly Sharp, is editor of this magazine, and I'm not finding Holly's picture in here. usually in the front. Anyway, my friend Holly Sharp is a is editor, and one of my practitioner classmates has written a column in here this month, or a story. Actually, she wrote a story. Another friend of mine, Eugene Holden, has a column in here. Another dear friend of mine, and she's probably in the back. It's oriented like this. This is August, that was July, right? So you go through the book one way upside down, and you go through the other way right side up, or vice versa. And in here somewhere is, oh yeah. Let me find it. Yeah, there's my friend Holly Sharp. She's the editor of the magazine. I call her Sharp Holly. And then another friend of mine is another columnist. And good morning. And her name is Steph Swink. And Steph's in here. She's a dear friend of mine, was a practitioner of mine for a while. So today's reading, this is August. Oh, and you know what? The dates are messed up on here. It says Saturday, August 14th. Today's the 15th. So what happened was the reading, and this month, my friend Kelly Robbins is the one who's written all of these for each day. So the other day, on Thursday, the August 12th, she was talking about the solar eclipse, which had happened the day before. It's unfortunate, but the dates got messed up. So, today's reading, what do I do with my fear? Eleanor Roosevelt said, do one thing every day that scares you. I love that. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, said, people have the ability to choose what they will do with their life and are unified with a law that automatically produces their choice. I like that. As you think, so is it, right? When we focus on them, our fears can start to take over and become larger than life. Sometimes fear can stop us from living fully and expressing ourselves with love. Please know this. You're bigger than your fears. Your fears are only a small part of who you are. If you're unsure how to handle your fear, try using visualization to provide perspective. Start by cultivating a calm, meditative state. Close your eyes and picture your fear in your mind's eye. It might look like a color, a person, or an object. In your mind, recognize this as your fear and imagine yourself standing next to it. See yourself as bigger than your fear. If your fear is larger than you or you're only a little bigger, make yourself grow and make your fear shrink. Remember, you're made of the same creative energy as the universe. You're connected to the source of everything, and nothing is greater or wiser than the source within you. Feel, as much as you can, how large you are and how small your fear is. Look down on it, knowing you are a mountain and it is as tiny as a piece of sand in the larger scheme of things. When fear rears its head in your daily life, remember this visualization. Bring to mind how it felt to be so large and strong in comparison to the smallness of your fear. This is God knowing itself. And the affirmation for today is, I am larger than my fear. I am one with all of life. My true self cannot be harmed. And my next reading is always from Mark Nepo's Book of Awakening. I've read from this book for several years. I took a couple-year break, but I've read from it for several years, and it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. Before I do that, we'll back into that. August 15th, being held. Perhaps the strongest and most powerful prayer in the human language. I just got a wave from a cute little kid in a stroller. Sorry for the squirrel moment, Kevin with ADD. August 15th, being held. Perhaps the shortest and most powerful prayer in human language is help. Mine is a little more profane. I think it's 4 letters, the most profound prayer in human language. IFGU means I effing give up. Anyway. A hardness we can't see, cold and rigid, begins to form between us and the world the longer we stay silent about what we need. It is not even about getting what we need, but about admitting, mostly to ourselves, that we do have needs. Asking for help, whether we get it or not, breaks the hardness that builds in the world. Paradoxically, asking even for the things that no one can give, we are relieved and blessed for the asking. For admitting our humanness lets the soul break surface, the way a dolphin leaps for the sun. Oh, I love that imagery. Mark Nepo's imagery is amazing. One of the most painful barriers we can experience is the sense of isolation the modern world fosters, which can only be broken by our willingness to be held, by the quiet courage to allow our vulnerabilities to be seen. It's a magic word, vulnerability. That's a key to authenticity in my mind. That's a key to showing up as who you really are, is vulnerability. And it's so hard for so many of us to be vulnerable and to show up as we are completely. For as a water fills the whole and light fills the dark, kindness wraps around what is soft, if what is soft can be seen. So admitting what we need, asking for help, letting our softness show, these are prayers without words that friends, strangers, wind, and time all wrap themselves around. Allowing ourselves to be held is like returning to the womb. And then there's some meditative prompts that he has at the end of each one of his passages. As you breathe, try to relax and soften your guard for these brief moments. Breathe slowly and feel your pores open more fully to the world. Inhale deeply and let the air and silence get closer. Inhale cleanly and allow yourself to be held by what is. And those are magic words for me also lately. It's what is, except I capitalize the W and I capitalize the I, because I think what is, what's showing up in front of us, is often sacred. And it's meant for us. Where I'm backtracking is on today's Kelly Robbins passage for today about fear. You know, I serve at Mile High in a service called the Healing Light Service, which is basically an hour-long meditative sit. Before we go into the meditation, we encourage people to go by what we call water tables. It's a table with a clear vessel with water in it, and we have disappearing paper, melting paper, basically. And we have them write down what I say to them, because I facilitate one of these tables, is in order to heal, what is it you need to release? Because generally we are prohibited from healing, which in my mind means our greater expression. We're prohibited from our greater expression in this life by our attachment to the way we think things have to be. Okay? So, you know, I don't make a practice of paying attention to what people write down. Sometimes as they drop the paper on the water, the word is right there floating on top of the water. In fact, what's more amazing is sometimes the paper falls away and the word in graphite remains on top of the water and then disappears like alphabet soup. Amazing. But anyway, this paper goes to the bottom, dissolved. Generally I say, and so it is, right? Then I think they're prepared to go in for the meditation because they know what they're releasing, right? Anyway, like I say, I don't usually pay attention to what is written on there, but you can't help sometimes seeing it because it's floating right there in front of you. And there's one word that's written down that people need to release in order to heal, that is written more than everything else combined in my experience. And I tend to run these little statistical analyses in my head while I'm watching this stuff. You know, you can't help but notice, right? The one word that is written down more than all others combined. We heard about it in today's passage from Kelly Robbins. fear. My mind, and I came to this way of spiritual thought 30 years ago through Neil Donald Walsh's book Conversations with God, where he introduced me to the concept of there's two basic human emotions. There's two basic human worldviews, love and fear. And a corollary for love is trust. If I'm in fear, I'm blocking what's mine. I'm blocking what's in my highest and best from coming to me. I'm making it more difficult for me to access what's mine because I'm attached to something being a certain way that I think it needs to be. So, anyway, this is what the Saturday morning ritual is about. Like I said on my little promo video, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I just figured, I'd turn the camera on live at 8 o'clock when they open the door at Rheinlander and go through the 3, 2, 1 countdown and order my bear claw. So good. So good. And here I'm eating in front of you with a full mouth talking. No, not a good thing to do on Facebook Live, Kevin, but it's good. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I will be, over the next few weeks and months, coming weeks and months, producing, and we've already produced several, and publishing here on Windshield Time some essays that are like this, about life, and I'd be honored if you would join me with that. You might want to subscribe to this channel, but I'm not going to go into that goofy smash that like button and press subscribe. No, you know what? You'll find me. I'm confident you'll find me. But it'll be here on this Windshield Time channel, and also on the they will all live on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel for Windshield Time. And so I'd love for you to join me. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll look forward to being with you. I guess we'll do this again next week. And thanks. Take care. Now I don't know how to stop. Oh, yes I do.